Welcome to the UrbanPostWorldwide.com. My name is Nielle and I am your lead anchor. And today we kick off part 2 of our coverage of the African American Heritage Festival in downtown Los Angeles with our correspondent, Miss Keisha Nicole, and that dynamic duo, Mary Mary.
They said 42% of Black successful women are single right now. You guys are married. You guys are very successful. What do you guys think about that?
I think God is good. I think a humble spirit and being submissive and cooperative and having a supportive husband makes for a good relationship.
It's actually okay to submit. It's okay for your man to be the head and you be secondary. Even if you, I don't even want to say secondary, it's just okay for you to honor him as your leader. Exactly, his co-pilot, if you will. Yeah, but God has blessed us. We have incredible husbands who love us, who love our kids. You know, we try to be the best wives we possibly can be to them.
Next, we'll take a look inside of the U.S. Census 2010. Now, the U.S. Census takes place every 10 years, and it is so important that every ethnicity is counted. This year, they decided to take on a road tour that is happening across these United States. Let's take a look inside of the road tour, find out why it is so important and so relevant that we all participate in answering 10 simple questions. Take a look.
What is the United States Census 2010?
Every 10 years, the United States is mandated by law to count every single person on American soil, regardless of race, regardless of language, regardless of how you got here.
Why is it so important to participate in the U.S. Census?
What you're looking at is approximately over $430 billion a year, every single year for the next 10 years that will go to federal and state, local, and tribal governments. In addition to the funding, there is also political representation, congressional seats that are determined by the participation. So it is very important for the African American community and other communities as well to participate so that funding and political representation are there.
Let's tackle some of the myths why people don't participate in the census. Tell us what the myths are and tell us if they're true or not.
One of the myths is that we will share your information with other governmental entities. Myth. Anything you fill out stays with the Census Bureau. And not even the President of the United States, as much as we might like President Obama, not even he has access to the raw data that you fill out on your form. What he does have access to is the statistical data that will be used to determine how the congressional lines are drawn all across the country. Those numbers are used to determine how the over $430 billion of federal funding will be allocated.
But in addition to the myths, I think there's something more dangerous out there. It's general apathy. That money that comes from that funding every single year, that funding goes to hospitals, schools, emergency rooms, nonprofit centers. We view this as the most critical census ever due to the economic times in which we live. Now, in the times where people are losing jobs, other things are disappearing, you actually have funding that's coming to communities if you participate. Now is the time to engage. That's why we say it is in your hands. It's in your hands. As you can see, this back panel right here is composed of the census questions that everybody will receive in mid-March. And I'll just take it through you briefly, which is number 1, how many people were living or staying in this house, apartment, or mobile home on April 1st, 2010, the number of people. Is this house, apartment, or mobile home? Do you owned by you, rented? Over here you have, please provide information for each person living here. What is the person's sex? Is it male or female? What is the person's race? Does person 1 sometimes live or stay somewhere else? That, in a nutshell, is what you will receive in March. And what we're saying is, mail it back. You want to get it back by April 1st. So that's the census. It's in your hands. We're counting on you.
The U.S. Census is also hiring in every state and in every city. So for more information, log on to www.2010census.gov. Now don't forget, this Wednesday, February 17th, I finish up part 2 of my one-on-one conversation with the legendary Susan L. Taylor as we talk about the Civil Rights Movement, President Obama, the ballot, and the Black church. Also this weekend, we're kicking off Arts and Culture Weekends right here at the urbanpostworldwide.com. And we'll be checking in with correspondent Nakia Morales as she starts to prepare us for vacation season. And also we'll catch up with Miss Keisha Nicole as she gives us a look inside of the Pan-African Film Festival. Finally, our newest correspondent, which I am happy to announce, is Miss Felicia the Poetess Morris. You can check her out on Sirius Radio's The Foxhole every Tuesday and Friday. She's going to be taking us to hip-hop beyond the hype with exclusive footage, vintage and new, and we'll follow her as she prepares for the release of her book documentary, The Oral Histories of West Coast Hip-Hop. My name is Nielle, your lead anchor, and on behalf of the urbanpostworldwide.com, we wish you peace, love, and blessings. We'll see you next time.
Hello, I'm Jamal Wilkes. I urge you to be counted in the 2010 census. Your participation ensures our community gets its fair share of federal dollars. It's easy, important, and safe, and everyone counts. The 2010 census, it's in our hands.